Alright guys, as you can see, I've removed my MCS radio that came with the ML320, and we're going to replace it with an aftermarket radio. Alright folks, so I'll be installing the Sony XAV-AX5000 into the ML class, and I'll tell you why I picked out this one specifically. I'll try to keep the price down. Obviously there are higher end ones, but one of the things that I wanted is two USB ports. So one for my Carplay, another one to put a storage device on there so I can play music off of files. Not many of them offer two USB ports, and that's an issue because you would have to disconnect from Carplay to put in any kind of storage device or connect another Bluetooth device, and I don't want to manage anything else. So this one has two USB ports. Plus, the other best part about it, I'll get to it when I open it, is that it doesn't take up a lot of footprint. It supports Apple CarPlay. It does not have navigation, but I don't need it because I'll get it from my CarPlay. And basically, a lot of the newer devices, once you have CarPlay, you pretty much have everything that's on your phone, including navigation. You can look at your text messages, Pandora, all the other music crap that you may listen to. It does not have satellite radio. It's satellite radio ready, but it doesn't have a tuner. So if that's important to you, then maybe you should get one with a tuner. Again, I try to keep the cost low. I got rid of my my MCS since the DVD died, so I was just listening to CDs. So anyway, this also has a rear camera out. It only has one camera input, not two, but if you want two, then you need to get something else. Anyway, let's get to the unboxing, and we'll go over its features and whatnot. Okay, let's see. Instructions, we need some. It does come with a remote, so if you don't want to touch the touch screen, you could use a remote, so that's pretty cool. Okay, so I took it out of the shrink wrap so you don't have to hear all the shrink wrap, and I took it on the box and I rested it on a platform so that I don't put too much stress on the display. As I was mentioning, this is half height. One of the reasons why I got this one is because inside the console of the ML, there are these plastic tabs that are located back here. So if you were to install a full double DIN receiver radio into the ML, you would have to cut those, which is, others have done that. Or if you're installing a cage, you would have to do that. But I didn't want to remove it because it serves as a nice stopgap for the previous ML, for the previous MCS, I should say, and I wanted it to leave as stock as possible, so I don't want to modify anything. Plus, this radio, it doesn't weigh that much. Actually, these cables weigh more, or weighing it down, but the radio itself does not weigh much. And there's really no need for any electronics. It doesn't have a drive or anything, so it's fine resting on top of that. The real issue that we have is in the front, because the MCS, even though it's double DIN, it's actually quite higher. So it's actually about this high. You will see some space on top and space on bottom that we would have to fit or cover up. So and the width also, even though this is double DIN, it's not as wide. Even with this additional bezel here, it's not as wide. So you would need additional coverings on the side. Now, I've looked at all the cages that are out there, or universal cage, or whatever other crap they want to call it. None of them will do any kind of justice to the MCS, to the ML, because the opening is so huge with the MCS. So if you call the MCS, it has a DVD drive slot, and plus it's just very much higher. It's more like a square rather than a rectangular shape like this is. So my intention is to buy some ABS black plastic from Amazon. There's a link below. I want to get that, and you have to pre-fabricate it or cut it and build a surround around this. This did not come with anything, and anything that I've come across on the internet, whether it's on Amazon or eBay, really does not allow me to install a radio nicely over it. So I plan on buying a 1/4 inch black ABS. There's a link in there below with the Amazon link, and cutting it, preforming it. I'm going to mount that to the console. The console could actually be removed, and I'll in the installation I'll go through that. Could be removed, and this thing could be stuck inside it. Also, I just want to talk about, so that's the installation. So you want to, installation is key here. Everything else is pretty easy. Connecting the wires is pretty easy. I went going to get these Metra 7184, which are stock, which connect to the stock wiring harness that comes with the ML, and it's just color coding between this, and these are the wires that come with the Sony, and it's just color coding and connecting up the wires. For example, you have a white wire, match that to a white wire, which is front left speaker, and then there's a white with a black trace, and match that with a white with a black trace, which would be this one. So it's just matching the wires. Black is ground, yellow and red are power, and the same thing over here. So that'll get you going. The parking one could get grounded. The remote, I'm sorry, not the remote, but the reverse, I need to figure out where that sits. So there's still some work I need to do for the reverse, but connecting the speakers is pretty easy, and I'll go through the installation as to how I connect the speakers. I'm using these solder-based ones. I'll show it to you. I haven't opened these up. These are from, got these from Amazon. These have heat shrink as well as solder in it, so you just heat them up, and then they connect and they make a nice tight seal on the wires. So I'll go through the installation of that in another video, but I wanted to do the unboxing. I wanted to show why I picked this one, and the key here is the fabrication of the bezel to install this inside the ML. And I want to do it such that this screen here is flush against the console, so I don't want it sticking out. So I have to figure out how to do that, because the black ABS sheet that I have is about a 1/4 of an inch thick. So I may have to double it to hit against this one, so I get about a 1/2 an inch going in, so it'll provide some additional strength. And I think that's about a 1/2 an inch going in. So let me just measure that real quick. Yeah, it's about a 1/2 an inch. So I could add 2 of those, and if I do that, then this will be flush against the console, and it'll rest against this bezel right here nicely. I apologize for this not being in focus. So yeah, that's the install. Oh, you would also need an antenna, which you would also need to get this antenna. You will also need to get this antenna right here that would connect for the radio, because the MCS is different. You would need an antenna adapter, and that is also from Metra. It's Volkswagen. Oh my god, I can't believe this focusing, or lack of focusing, I should say. Okay, anyway, the link is in the description. So thanks for watching.